Okay. I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Select Board. It is Monday, March 17th, 2025. It is 6 p.m. and we are at Cole Hall. Conflict of interest statement. Does anyone have a conflict of interest with what we have on the agenda?
No.
Okay. Now we have the nomination of Select Board officers.
I'd like to nominate Naomi Miller once again for chair of the board.
I'll second that. I second.
Okay.
I accept the nomination.
Okay.
Did we close?
All those in favor?
Aye.
And I move to appoint Zoe Condros Curl as the vice chair.
I'll second.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I would like to request that we agree to move 19, the establishment of the Emerald Ash Borer Committee, to after the executive session, so that we have a chance to discuss personnel issues in it at the executive session. Is that okay with everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Minutes. Did everybody have a chance to read these minutes?
Mike sent them out today.
I know.
I did.
Yes.
Thank you.
Did everybody else?
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody have any, well, would somebody like to move to accept these minutes?
So moved.
Thank you.
I guess technically only the three of us were there.
Right.
So was it?
So Brad would need to second it?
Sure.
Second. Sorry.
I have a question. Do we do things like correct spellings of the word February? Okay, we should correct the spelling of the word February. In
Where?
4, under 4 announcements.
Yep.
I think that's my only.
I'll make the edits before sending them to Webmaster.
Perfect. Okay,
It was a typo. Yeah.
that's it. Yep. Only comment.
Okay. Any other corrections to this?
Nope.
No? Okay. All in favor of accepting them?
Aye.
You can't vote. You weren't
Oh,
here.
my bad. I wasn't here yet. Abstain.
I abstained too, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So it's past 302. 302?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
To abstain.
Any announcements?
I have one. I have an announcement. I'll announce it at this meeting and the next one. The PFAS meeting, the PFAS meeting that the state is doing for the residents of Shaftsbury, specifically South Shaftsbury, kind of off East Road, is Monday, April 14th here at Cole Hall at 6 p.m. So the information is on the website. It's on all the online places. It's probably already in the post offices, but if not, will be. And I will announce it at this meeting and the next one.
Great. It's very important that as many people as possible
Yes.
from the affected areas attend that meeting.
Yeah.
That was April 14th?
April 14th, Monday, April 14th.
At what time?
6 p.m.
Any other announcements? Okay. Warrants.
And hand a bunch to you. The ones on the bottom, Naomi has already signed because we missed a meeting for the town meeting.
All right. Okay, so We have here check warrant report number 25024 for a total of $19,379.66. Nope, that's the wrong one, sorry. $100,086.
So moved.
Thank you. Second? Moved by Mike, seconded by Tony. Items over 1,000. A&K Agri-Services, $8,666.39.
Gravel hauling.
Gravel hauling. Appalachia Salt, $5,521.20. That's salt.
Salt.
Incredible.
We needed a lot of it.
We sure did, and good use was made of it. GA Bow Fuels, $2,135.57 and $1,786.61. That was for heating fuel, yes?
DPW.
At the DPW?
And coal.
And coal. Casella Waste Systems, $7,822.96. That's for carting stuff away, yes?
Transfer station, coal haul, and the fire department.
We pay a lot of money towards solid waste
We sure do.
removal. Yeah. Picking at random here, the Dufresne Group, it's 19531 for $330.
Yep. They went on today. Yeah, their engineering, one was for, well, we're having the pipes replaced, and the phase one, the funding is on docket, but the permit will run out on the 31st, so they had to reapply for the permit on our behalf for the water replacement, the line replacement. And the other one is for the sewer feasibility study.
Okay, and that's the 165?
Yeah.
Okay. Hathaway Electric, $1,758.07.
I think that's Mike's over there. I think it's Mike's for the DPW.
Did you have Hathaway over there?
I did, but I did not sign that one, so I don't know if that one's for me, but I did have them over there.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember signing it. It was,
But it also could have been for the
We
new
did have some
building.
repairs
Yeah, I
over
think-
there. That probably was for
Yeah,
the
that's what it
highway
was.
garage.
Okay, cool, thanks.
oh, actually, it's Firehouse. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, it says
That was just
firehouse
added-
maintenance.
Added today, so.
Okay. HL Gauge Sales, $1,613.33, and another one for $147. L Gauge.
Can you say the name? Oh, there it is. Oh, no, it isn't. What's the name of the?
HL Gauge.
HL Gauge.
Those are
Oh,
truck-
there they are.
truck parts.
Machinery and equipment.
Truck parts? Thanks.
Yes.
Nimerick, $7,750.
That is our fee for Nimerick for
Right.
March, contract payment
Yep.
for reappraisal.
For reappraisal, okay. Peckham, $1,384.91. It's one of 3 Peckham invoices. I assume that's for gravel.
2 were for winter sand, 1's for gravel.
And then Vermont League of Cities and Towns, $20,973.82. That must be our annual.
Yes, the 20,000 one.
Yep.
That's the town insurance and coverage payment. That's that passive, which insures all of our cars, vehicles, and buildings.
Great. So that's our insurance, our building insurance.
Yeah, it's through the VLCT. It's called passive.
Great. Any further questions on this?
None for me.
All in favor? Say
Aye.
Aye. Okay, check warrant report number PR19. And this is payroll. It's for $19,379.66. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
The same two guys? Okay.
Makes it easier. Okay.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Check. So, and then we have the two that I signed, reviewed and signed. They've already gone out because they were that week that we,
We're out.
yeah, that we had town meeting. I don't think we usually vote on these, right? Does anybody want to look at them?
We trust you. We should.
Are you sure? Okay, and, oh, there's another one. Here we go. And while those are being signed and passed around, we could move on to public comments. Would either of you like to take the floor as a member of the public? No? Anybody on Zoom who would like to make any comments?
He's not raising his hand.
He's not raising his hand. Okay. We should begin to announce, I forgot, that if people on Zoom want to comment, they need to raise their hands so they can be seen and recognized, since we don't do the video portion. Okay, treasurer's report. If you can move over a little and let Melanie pull up. Thank
Hello,
you.
everybody. Want to take a look at the cash flow first, please? We're all hidden.
There's three of them.
There we go. Okay, not all that much going on. This is a mid-month report, so I don't compare it to budget as usual, but you can see the biggest number there is a nice chunk of delinquent taxes came in. All of those clerk fees are, I think there's all dog licenses. Those are coming in now. I don't know when they're due. Does anybody know when they're due? I know that Marlene is collecting like crazy, but they do become... April 1st. Okay, so people should be aware they're going to be, they've got a couple more weeks, but make sure you get those in on time. Let's see, look down at the bottom, we've had a certain number of health insurance claims have come in, but mostly we're just seeing the checks you've already approved and payroll and an IRS payment there. So that's our, close to our, you know what, I don't think I always make this clear. When I say that cash balance number, that is not literally what we have in the checking account. I just want to make clear that it does diverge a little bit, especially if we've got outstanding checks. And we do have a fair number of very, very stale checks that I need to take care of. We need to void those out and then reissue unless, we can't track people down. Sometimes it's poll workers who think they're being nice by not cashing their checks and saying, "Oh, I'll just let the town have it back." And that's not actually helpful. If you want to go out and have a nice dinner, that would be a better use of the money. But so that's something that we need to take care of. But so there are reasons that is not identical to if you looked in our checking account. But I do try to keep that as close as I can. But I think I had mentioned that before. But that's just something to bear in mind. Don't assume that is identical to what the checking account statement will say. And of course, you just approved a bunch of checks, which as soon as you approve them, we assume they are cashed, so then it diverges again.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line for the reserve fund, but if we can, any questions about cash flow? I know I talked very fast.
No?
Okay, so you take a look at the reserve accounts, almost impossible to read. I know it's a lot of information. Only two numbers there. So the water department, that is some late payments. They still come in a little bit at a time.
Wait, where are we?
That's on the 260 line.
Okay,
So you see
thanks.
$475.60. I think that's two payments have come in March. And then you look down at that Lister's reappraisal line, 290. What that is money that comes per parcel from the state this time of year. There are two bundles. One of them is $1 per parcel, and the other one is whatever you can do the math, maybe $6. And that's to go into the expected expense of the Lister's the reappraisal for the whole town. So we get that every year. So that just came through. Any questions about that? We're in very good shape for our reappraisal because we have been planning ahead. I think that some towns are kind of desperate to have that money come through, but we're in very, very good shape.
Great. Can you just talk to us a minute about the water department?
Yeah, it's kind of ugly.
That's a big number.
Yeah, that's...
It seems to have grown.
Well, because we just wrote a check to North Bennington for the water. That was, what, a $67,000 check or something. So it was floating along with it's always, I'm trying not to I talk about payments trickling in. I said we're underwater. I'm trying to avoid it, but I can't. It's always underwater. But it's particularly bad when we're at the end of a payment period and we've just paid a bill for water to North Bennington. So, I mean, it's clearly something that needs to be addressed. If it were sitting, it wouldn't be possible if it were sitting in its own account because it would have that much negative money in it. It looks okay because we've got lots of other things with plenty of money to make up for it.
Because we're covering for it, essentially.
Yep.
So the taxpayers are covering for that in general.
Well, it sort of depends on how you look at it. I mean, the taxpayers approve transfers to reserve every year, and the reserves to other funds are making it possible for water to be negative. It isn't coming directly out of taxes on a yearly basis.
Okay.
I mean, we maintain this reserve fund that's across whatever it is, 20 funds. But yeah, I mean, it's not sustainable. And we know that we have a lot of problems with that. But yeah, thank you for bringing it up. It does certainly bear looking at every once in a while.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anything else? The only other thing I would say is, if you look around here, I love that Gina has done this. You cannot be in this room and not see 3 signs telling you to do your homestead declaration. And we're really, really trying this year. She's bending over backwards. I'm doing what I can do too, to try to make sure that people do their HS 122 on time. Even if you get an extension on your taxes, you can still submit your homestead declaration on time and avoid the penalty later on. I strongly recommend that you do that. But I know that Gina is, I think she's communicating with people directly to tell them that they haven't done, or she will, I guess, once the April 15th is come and gone. But anyway, all I can do is say, do it. You avoid a lot of problems down the line. Okay.
Thank you.
That's all I got.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you. All right, DPW, Mike. Hello.
If you can remember in the past couple years, well, you guys have to sign some stuff for the state so that we can get our Class 2 road funds, Class 2 and 3. This is the financial plan that I went over with V-Trans. So we're estimated to get around $180,000 this year. And it just, the math is all right there. And
Any chance you can just run us through it for the public's sake?
Yeah, it's pretty, so what it is it's based on the funds that we get, or how do I say that? I should know. Sorry, so it's
I didn't mean to
based
put you on the
on-
spot.
No, it's all right, I just didn't know you wanted me to explain it.
I know,
I never had it before.
I know. And the public wonders what this is that we're
We
signing.
get $180,000 every year, and that is based on the mileage of road that we have, but it's also based on the number that is approved for the DPW budget too. So that, and when it goes out to the voters on the floor, that 180 is already in that number. So we kind of anticipate it being there. So that's non-tax revenue that is raised in my department. So $180,000 of that, of the 1.2 million that we get is already, we act like we already have it, but it's you know, you understand what I'm saying?
It's allocated.
Yeah, it's raised by, it's already allocated.
Yeah. Okay.
But we just have to, and then this bottom portion shows our winter and our non-winter maintenance, and that number, this $500,000 number is just an average in case there's a FEMA disaster or something, and they'll give us a percentage of that number towards if we had a flood or damage to our roads or something. And then that's that, and then on the back of that, it just asks for all your signatures. The other thing is this is the town and bridge standards, just saying that we are following what the state puts out there for our hydrologically connected sections. So all the ditching, all the tree cutting, all the, anything that we're doing, upsizing culverts, whatever it has to do, what we're maintaining out there, this is what we sign every year, just to say that we are following the standards. All those standards are on the website. They've been on the website for a long time. But this is the time of the year where we
reaffirm, essentially.
that we are following the guidelines that they put out there, and that keeps us from, getting those funds every year.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that was put up on the website with that packet of things about the
Yes.
road maintenance, right, about a year ago?
Yes, when everything was brought up of why we are doing all this. Well, this is a reason of why we are doing this, is we are signing that we are following the standards that the state asks us to follow. And then this one is the same thing. The exact same thing, it's just town and bridge standards, just another form. That one's for hydrologically connected roads.
Okay.
And then when they send that out, they give us a small little packet, of everything. They just do a brief summary of how the road should look, the crown, the drainage, all the stone line ditches, culvert sizing, hydro seeding, mulching, erosion control, all that stuff. They just do a brief guideline. They give you some pictures that you can look at.
Does that
too.
change year to
No,
year?
it's exactly the same as last year. And they give you a little chart too, so if you're upsizing a culvert or something,
Yeah.
But I looked at the one from last year and it's identical. I didn't see anything. And then I just
Thank you.
I just send this into V-Trans. And then I have to update the contact sheet. I just have to change, they ask for a select board, who's on the board and your email. So I just have to switch her out with Martha, and I'll send that in as well.
Have you two met?
We have, yeah.
Yes, we have.
Okay.
Through, I've learned about roads from Mike, a little.
And was that a zoning? No.
It was planning commission when you were explaining to us how roads work,
Oh, yes.
which I
yes.
understand just a little now.
And I said that we're not
It's
accepting
incredible.
roads unless they're paved.
We talked about how much it would cost to pave, like,
That's right.
Yes.
learned a lot.
As you can see, there seems to be an early spring, so we'll be out there patching up the roads as much as the weather will let us.
That's it.
Yeah, doesn't seem as bad as it's been in the past.
But the permafrost is still
There's still some
just
frost
3
in there.
inches below the surface, yeah. Got some
Slowly.
ways to go.
We'll see, it's slowly coming out. Some roads have actually dried out really nice, and if the weather will let us, we'll probably start grading them just to get on it, because once it changes, it's a lot of work to grade all the roads in town. So the guys will be out they'll be doing some spot grading here and there just to kind of, make the roads a little better for the traffic until we can get there to grade all of them, because it takes a couple weeks to make it around the whole town when we can. And no, we have not put away any winter equipment, so.
I was just thinking that, we're about due for a snowstorm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't do it till Mother's Day, right?
That's what someone told me, that's what their rule of thumb was, Mother's Day. They didn't take off any plows or anything, but usually we can get away with it in April sometime.
Anybody have any other questions for Mike?
That's all I have right now. I will be at the next meeting too, on the 7th. I think that's when it is. I have been working on, we don't really have an equipment replacement schedule, which is, we had one, but we don't have one, so I'm making one. So I'll be presenting that to you guys at the next meeting, and that's where I'm at right now. I wanted to do it at this meeting, but there's a big agenda, and I still have some things to work on that I'm working out, but
Okay,
I just wanted to give you a heads up about that.
thank you.
All right, that's all I have.
Okay, we'll see you
Thank you.
later, right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so now we enter the organizational meeting component of this. First, we need to re-adopt the Select Board Rules of Procedure.
Okay, that should be the
It's the first item in your
packet.
packet there, that was at your,
Town of Shaftsbury Select.
yep.
And I am to just give a summary of this, which is, I'm not really good at summary of it. Kind of verbose. Okay, so do you want me to just hit the points, like the first line in each section, or?
That's good.
Okay,
Sure.
we don't want to be here all
No,
night.
we don't want to be here all
Okay.
night.
So the purpose of this is, because the town is required by law to conduct meetings in accordance with the Vermont open meeting law. That's why I had the open meeting law, okay, in front of me.
That's it, right?
Meetings of the select board must always be open to the public via Zoom or as well as in person. Public must be afforded a reasonable opportunity to give its opinion on matters. This policy setting forth rules and procedure for select board meetings shall apply to all regular, special, and emergency meetings of the town of Shaftsbury Select Board. Procedures: officers, the chair of the select board or in the chair's absence, the vice chair shall chair all select board meetings. If both are absent, a member of the select board will chair.
I don't think we need to do it.
We don't need to do any of that? Great. Okay. Meetings, the majority of the members of the select board shall constitute a quorum. If quorum is not present at the meeting, the only action that may be considered is a motion to recess or adjourn the meeting. The rules shall be made available at all the meetings for public comment.
And I want to note that these rules are on the website.
Yes.
So in that sense, they are available to the public 24 hours a day,
And they have not changed.
and they have not changed.
Right.
Although I'm going to ask people if they have any changes they want to make.
They haven't changed yet, I should say. Time in each select board meeting toward the beginning for public comment. Each select board meeting shall have an agenda. It lists all the places where it is posted and to whom it is emailed, which we do. All business shall be conducted in the same order as it appears on the agenda unless the chair switches it, right? You can-
Well, unless we have a
Modify it.
consensus, yes, to switch. Which means really that any of us can suggest a switch.
All members shall abide by the general conflict of interest policy, and the meetings should be conducted in the Roberts Rules of Order for small boards format. And there should be an annual organization meeting, and time and place will be decided annually at the organizational meeting. Annually, a legal notice will go out. In order to provide better communication between town and community officials, each select board member will act as a liaison, and we'll talk about those to the different boards. These rules may be amended by a majority of the select board and must be readopted annually. And the following positions will be appointed by the select board to serve one-year terms: Animal Control Officer, BC Regional Commissioner, Emergency Management Coordinator, Health Officer, Tree Warden.
Thank you. Does anybody have anything about that they think should be updated or changed? It hasn't been touched in years, I think.
Right.
Okay. Can I have a motion to readopt it?
So moved.
Second.
Zoe gave her first second at the
Yeah.
select board meeting.
Good.
Thank you. Okay. Moved by Mike, seconded by Zoe. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. 500. Thank you. All right.
Next is the
Liaison assignments.
assignments.
Okay,
You
so
want the copy of the Excel sheet.
I asked everybody to sort of look at it and think about whether there were any you thought should no longer be in your ken or that should be in your ken that are not. And then we need to reorganize a little bit to adapt to the difference in strengths and interests between Zoe and Martha.
Nothing for me except my name is, I make an annual request to, both my names are spelled wrong.
Oh, God.
We'll get that fixed, Mike.
It's been like that for 4 years.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. You know, I've inherited all of the past documents, so you just let me know, and I'll
There was a big problem in the budget, too, inheriting last year's
Inheriting last
budget and
year's,
rolling it over, yep.
Yeah.
Anybody else had thoughts about this?
I mean, I'll take the CCDC because I will be,
Yep.
I will take that
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
because I
Does
have
it-
been on it forever.
You were the co-chair.
I was the co-chair,
But now she can no longer be a voting member.
non-voting
That's
member.
Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tony, you were nominally the CCDC
Right,
liaison, but in fact it became me.
right.
Sorry.
That's
You
fine.
missed all the
I
fun.
know, I know.
But there was a meeting every week for 6
I
months.
know, I know. Yes. Thank
You
you.
dodged a bullet.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
So we're going to move CCDC from Tony to Zoe. I was going to suggest that perhaps we could move, well, in fact, we probably should, move media from Zoe's line here, which used to be Martha's, to my line, since functionally I'm the person who the media contacts.
Okay.
Yeah? And then we are presumably someday very soon going to have an Emerald Ash Borer Committee, possibly tonight. Mike, what about if we moved animal control officer to Brad and gave you the emerald ash borer?
Okay.
Who is he? You have a suggestion?
Brad already has the tree board.
Yeah. And knows a lot about trees, I'm guessing.
But he is going to be, I already talked to him about this.
Okay.
He's going to be, can I say what's?
Sure.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
He's going to be out of town a lot during exactly the period when they're going to be formulating, because he's going to be giving readings from his newly published book.
Cool.
He'll be here for these meetings, but to those exactly at the moment when they're going to need that. But Brad can consult, right? You agreed
Yes,
you would consult
absolutely.
with Mike.
Sure, or you could have it when you have more time. Anything, you know, I'm not,
Yeah.
it's not something I want.
Well, don't be honest. I say, okay, so you actually prefer the animal control officer?
It's nice and quiet, for sure.
So far, you never know.
It can be fraught, actually, but so far it has been quiet.
Well, would you be willing to do it at the beginning and you do the animal control officer and then we could
Yep.
Sure, yeah.
Yep. We'll work it.
work it together?
We'll work. Okay. Yep.
You could actually both be appointed
That
to it? It
works,
could
right?
be on
Sure,
both?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine, yeah, I can take it, but it's not
Okay.
something I...
Okay, so we'll keep both of these things on both of your
Okay.
lines?
good.
Can we do that?
Okay. Yep.
Why not?
Is that Zoe and
Yeah.
Tony? That's
Yeah. that's
okay?
fine.
Okay.
We should change like where it says 2013 to 2014, probably. The top.
Yes.
Yes.
And vice chair has 2 E's.
Yep, sure does. Vice chair.
And Mike's name is, yeah, unrecognizable.
Yep. Okay, anything else about this? Is everybody feeling comfortable with it?
Yeah, I mean, what does Zoe think?
I was on the DRB and the Planning Commission. I would be willing to trade one for the fire warden. If somebody,
Sure, you can have
but
it.
fire warden sounds like maybe nothing happens. So
Yeah.
Until fire season.
until it's a very serious
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Thoughts on that? I don't need a constable law enforcement, or I do like the transfer station, but that sounds contentious actually. Don't want the solid waste implementation plan. I don't
So
know.
the Planning Commission and the DRB and the zoning administrator all kind of go together, right?
Yeah.
Well, then they can stay where they are, and I'll have
Or the two of you could switch all three of them.
Yeah, you-
fire warden policies, procedures, economic development from Martha List, Planning Commission, zoning administrator, DRB.
Yeah, I mean, you can have those, what did you, just take that block, DRB, Planning Commission, zoning. yeah.
DRB, Planning Commission, zoning administrator. I could take those, and you could have.
I'll just take the fire warden in exchange, how's that? I don't know that we have, like
You're
these other
getting
ones
fire
have
warden,
never,
maybe economic development.
Economic development, Mike.
sure.
So I'm gonna put a little arrow there. Mike is gonna take fire warden.
And
Economic
actually,
development. Do you want BCRC?
oh,
Is it
wait,
doing 3 for
that's
3? No, I'm
that's-
keeping that. Okay.
no, you're not keeping that.
Okay,
I
then
need
I'm
to
gonna
address
cross it
that
out.
separately. Mike, what about policies and procedures?
Yeah, is there, I mean, we've never, who would that be liaising with? I mean,
Paul.
that's Paul, okay,
And I'm already under Zoe.
okay.
Except
Sure.
that you have,
Don't fight over me.
you would be the person she consulted with about it.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so policies and procedures, economic development, and fire warden are moving to Mike. DRB, Planning Commission, and Zoning Administrator are moving to Zoe.
Yeah. Okay.
And about the BCRC, Martha, when Martha came on the select board, as I understand it, I wasn't here. As I understand it, when she came on the select board, you appointed her as the liaison to the BCRC, but also as the Shaftsbury representative in place of Cinda Morse, who had just resigned from that role that she had held for a long time as our town's commissioner on the BCRC. Is that correct?
I think so. That sounds right.
Okay. So I would like to propose that Martha remain on the BCRC, but now as our commissioner. And we don't really need a liaison.
Yeah.
Great.
Perfect.
Okay. We'll just make sure she reports to us sort of probably more regularly than Cinda did because she hadn't recently been in the loop of the select board.
Sounds good.
Okay. So the BCRC comes off of this and it will go on to our list of officer appointments. I mean, it's on there already, but that's where it'll, yeah. Okay.
Great.
Anything else? Any other desires people have?
No.
Anybody want the water department? I'm just offering it up. Okay. All right. I initialed it, so it's
Thank you.
Okay.
I have a question kind of about, that looking at this sheet made me think of. I see email addresses on here. I would like to use my governmental email, which I just learned how to log into.
Sure.
But I kind of think that we should all do that
Yes.
because in case of anything ever, we should be on record.
It should be.
Yeah.
We all are.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then let's change out
Even though it
these.
says
Contact her.
Then
my
let's switch them
Gmail.
out. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to make sure because I was like,
It's really not hard, and
No,
she can
I
help
don't-
you get it right.
We all had
so it
to-
feeds into your other.
Yeah, because if anything ever happened that was weird, it would be a nightmare if it was in personal emails because everything ever gets.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Not to mention we don't really own personal email.
It's a
no.
much
Yeah,
updated
so
program now, it's much easier.
Better for it to all just be
Gives me a message saying I'm
in
not
its
wanting to
bucket.
say I hate
Okay.
or something.
Yep.
All right. Appointment policy adoption. I want to just, this is a sort of standard thing, right? I don't remember there being any conversations about this. But I wanted to draw our attention to pieces of number 1 and number 2. Number 1, when a vacancy arises either prior to or upon completion of an existing member's term, and we are talking about all of the town boards and committees other than the DRB and Planning Commission, the Select Board will consider recommendations from the board accepting the new appointment. So that actually, the board accepting the new appointment is supposed to be making the recommendations, not us. And at least in this last 2 years that I've been on it, the Select Board has been making the recommendations. So I just want to draw our attention to that. And then on number 2, before recommending candidates to the Select Board, the board accepting the new appointment will give notice of the vacancy by posting a notice at Cole Hall, the Shaftsbury Post Office, etc. And that committee or board will conduct interviews with the candidates and then give them to the board for approval. So we might want to just be aware of that and also let all the chairs of committees know that, because that's not how we've been doing it. We've been controlling it. So does anybody but me have anything to change about this one?
Nope, nothing from me.
Okay.
should we write like board or committee? Just before recommending candidates to the select board, the board or committee accepting the new appointment just because some of them are called committees.
That's a good idea.
And then also it makes it more clear that the board is not self-referential to the select board. Because when you read that out loud, I was like, well, that's funny,
Very
that the board is
confusing.
referring to the board. But if you say board or committee, then it's like, oh, the development review board or the community center development committee. I think it makes it like more clear. It
Yeah.
differentiates a little more.
Okay, can I have a second to the motion for that amendment?
Oh, second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Right, can we amend it on your copy and then sign your copy? 'Cause-
Yeah, and it should probably be every place that, ooh, but see, up here it says to the various town boards and non-elected offices. Maybe it should be town boards and committees. I feel like every time that it's mentioning that, it needs to be the same.
Also, I move or suggest that we get rid of the word coal hall and write municipal offices.
Yes,
Good.
Great.
So it'll cover both places as we.
Just like from the
yes,
board.
yes. I'm not going to ask for a motion to amend that because it's factual, not,
Right.
Okay.
Municipal offices.
okay. So can I have a motion to reaffirm this as amended?
So moved?
Thank you, Brad. A second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mike. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, great. Zoe will circulate that for signature once she finishes amending it.
I'm just drawing an arrow to every place that it should say or committee. So it
Do you want me
feels-
to retype it for you guys to sign next time, or does it need
Sure,
to be
that
signed?
makes a lot of sense,
Yeah,
right?
it'll just be messy. I like it.
It'll be messy. Okay, appointment of town officers. So,
So we're not signing this.
we're not signing this now.
Great,
We're just giving it to Paula.
Printed that out later, so it should be the last bottom page of your.
Okay, so we are going to appoint the animal control officer, the first constable, the second constable, the Bennington County Regional Commissioner, the emergency management coordinator, the health officer, and the tree warden. I am suggesting that we reappoint the ones that are already in place on that, and that we appoint David Mance III. It's really a reappointment as the tree warden, and that we appoint Martha Cornwell as the Bennington County Regional Commissioner. Does anybody have any objections or changes to that? Okay, so that would mean Animal Control Officer Robert Perry, First Constable Robert Perry, Second Constable Fran Buck, BCRC Commissioner Martha Cornwell, Emergency Management Coordinator Paul Danzero, Health Officer Jackie Myers, and the Tree Warden Dave Mance III. Can I have a motion?
So moved?
Thank you,
Seconded.
Brad. Thank you. Zoe, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, adoption of select board meeting dates. Are we going to continue in our first and third?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fine.
Anybody have a problem with the time?
No.
Okay, so we're going to continue first and third of every month at 6 PM at the municipal offices wherever they may lodge. Discussion of the conflict of interest policy. So we have this ethical conduct and conflict of interest policy that was apparently adopted in 2013, and that's some time ago. And there, as we talked about a couple of months ago, there's a new piece of legislation out that lays out the way these policies need to read, essentially. I mean, some things they need to cover that ours does not. We already appointed the two people we needed to appoint, a liaison to the public and a liaison to the government from this body on conflict of interest issues. But I'm going to suggest that we have a subcommittee to just look at the legislation, look at our ethical conduct and conflict of interest policy, and propose any changes that need to be made in order to bring it up to date. Can I have a couple of volunteers for that?
I guess I was what was I? I was the liaison to the government side, is that?
I think you are.
So I guess I would be on that subcommittee, I suppose,
Thank you.
if that works.
Okay.
Thank you. You did go to law school for a little while.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, so briefly.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Almost.
You learn quickly.
It's the right amount of time.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. I don't think this is going to be a lot of work. This is,
It's real short.
Jen knows exactly where the thing from the government is.
Oh, great. Okay.
You know exactly where that thing from the government is,
What thing from the government?
because you found it for us. The conflict of interest legislation when it first came out.
I did?
Yeah.
On a really great day.
Going on here.
Cool. I'll touch base with you
It
or
is.
find it and ask
I mean,
if
I
what
think
you
it's quite
emailed them.
findable.
Okay. Yeah, great.
It
So
came out just before January.
So it's the Vermont State
Yes.
conflict of interest? All right.
And it came out just at the end of last year.
Great. 2024.
And let me, you were just so, I was so impressed. Really? Yeah, you got it off your mind. You just,
You're like, oof, not my problem.
I just want to remind everybody that as piece of that legislation, we do all need to, by July 1st, take a training. And it's an online training. We don't have to journey to Montpelier, but
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's ringing.
for that one, right?
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay. And I guess I should try to remind people of that every 2 weeks
Right.
until everybody has complied.
Is it about ethics?
Yes.
Okay.
Great.
It's about conflict of interest. Conflicts
Specifically.
of interest, actually.
Got it. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, everybody needs to do it.
Yes, everybody who,
Who's on a board or a committee.
really?
Yeah.
It's
Everybody who works and volunteers for the town.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Once a year.
Doing
Yeah.
town business.
That's right. Okay.
And I offered to hold trainings here and then I forgot about it.
It's okay. July is
No
far
wonder
away.
you forget.
April, May, June, July. Yeah, it's a quarter. It's a full quarter away.
I will get on
January,
that.
February, March.
Thank you very much. I mean,
Two goal.
great.
It's not like they reminded us at all. I don't even think I got an email.
No, they didn't, I didn't get one.
I
Paula didn't
heard
get one.
about it, I saw something and that was it.
Yeah. Zip, zip.
Okay.
They have other things on their minds up there right now, I guess. Okay, we need to appoint a secretary. And I think this is you, Paula, right? Not that you're the secretary, but that you're going to report to us on this.
I have one more person to ask, and if she says no, then I will find another person to ask.
Okay.
Is, okay,
What are the secretary's duties?
just doing the minutes for the
The
select,
minutes. Okay.
which Mike
Now
has so
that's like
kindly
the-
been doing
Yep.
for a while, but we should have a certain person doing them.
Yeah. Thank you so much
Yes,
Sure,
thank
yeah.
for
you.
jumping into the
Appreciate
breach.
it.
Yeah.
I was scrambling today to get it done.
Okay, so, and when we do appoint that secretary, that person is going to be offered a stipend, presumably, right?
Yes.
That's one of the things we need to discuss in executive session, we arrive at in agreement about that.
Are there any rules on whether or not that person is currently sitting on boards or committees?
I don't think so.
Can that person be already, just out of curiosity?
One of the person is on a committee. The
Okay.
person I'm going to ask is on the committee. But I
Okay.
don't want to say her name publicly because I have not yet approached her.
Perfect. I was just curious if that was like a conflict of interest.
Not
I
if
don't
they're
think so.
not
I
sitting
feel
on
like
the
no.
select board, I
Great,
think. yeah.
perfect. I was just curious for candidate thinking. Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Declaration of inclusion. So I want to say something about this. I just want to give a little sort of a reaffirmation of this Declaration of Inclusion seems appropriate at this particular moment in time. And I wanted to clarify for everybody and for the public that executive orders, with reference to our Declaration of Inclusion, the relevant recent executive order that could potentially be giving people concern in this regard, is the executive order having to do with DEI language. So I wanted to sort of reassure people that executive orders are by definition something issued by the President of the United States that affect the operations of the federal executive branch and the federal agencies within that executive branch. They are not federal laws, they're not federal regulations, and they only affect federal offices and federal employees within the executive department. Because the town of Shaftsbury is not within the federal executive branch, the town is not required to follow executive orders. The town of Shaftsbury is required to comply with federal laws, federal regulations, Vermont state law, Vermont state regulation, and Shaftesbury's own ordinances, rules, and declarations. This means...
Precedence. What takes precedence?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
That's a... But at the moment, this doesn't seem to contradict or in any way conflict with any federal law or regulation, and that, or state law or regulation. And that's what we want to make very clear to people. So our Declaration of Inclusion of February 23 is still in effect, and it's still the policy of the town. And it says, the town of Shaftsbury condemns racism and welcomes all persons, regardless of race, color, religion, national origin, sex, gender identity or expression, sexual orientation, age, disability, or socioeconomic status, and wants everyone to feel safe and welcome in our community. As a town, we formally condemn all discrimination in all of its forms, commit to fair and equal treatment of everyone in our community, and will strive to ensure all of our actions, policies, and operating procedures reflect this commitment. The town of Shaftsbury has and will continue to be a place where individuals can live freely and express their opinions. Okay. So, I think because we're moving number 19 down to after the executive session, and we will be coming out of the executive session and taking actions, most likely. We're now to other business. Is there any other business?
I have two things. One is a letter from Sullivan Powers and Company, which is our auditor, and the select board needs to sign the last page, and it's just telling the town the scope of their audit yearly. It hasn't changed from previous years. And I just need to get that back to Jordan, who's our representative there.
Okay.
And I will send a copy to all of you as well.
And what do we need to do to sign
Just
it?
sign the front page, as you're the governing,
We're the government.
you're the governor.
So we make a quick, I'll move to sign this document from Sullivan Powers.
The audit scope
The
and
audit
objectives.
scope and objectives.
Second.
Second, thank you, Mike, thank you, Brad. Any discussion? Does anybody want to read it? Who hasn't read it? Or can you imagine what it says?
I can imagine what it says.
It's very exciting.
I bet it's exciting and extensive.
It is. And the audits are very extensive, actually,
Yeah.
and rather interesting, except that you have to make your way through incredible language.
Right.
Yeah.
One page at a time.
One page at a time, but it's worth it. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You read it. You guys read it. Great.
I already signed it. I just keep forgetting, oh, I have to have them sign this. Oh, I have to have them sign
Yeah,
it.
I see that September 18th, 2024
We've
up
met like
there.
a million times since
So I know it
then.
has existed.
Jordan's like, can I have that signed piece of paper? I'm like, I'll get that to you.
You're like, yes, you may.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Okay, while that's circulating, can I have a motion to enter executive session?
Oh, do you want to do the podcast? Hold on.
Oh, there's another other. Sorry.
Right.
There's another other. Oh, you want me to do it?
I think you should, because you did it.
Oh, this is such great stuff.
Oh, you got me told.
This is,
Yeah.
talk about it, Jen.
Okay. Comcast Business, we switched to Fidia in December. So in December, I called them and canceled all services to this building in December. And our bill averaged like $246 a month.
That was for Wi-Fi?
That was for Wi-Fi, hardwire, 5 static IPs, voicemail. So it was like $246 a month.
There's no
And we
line.
got another bill in January. I called them. I said, you know, what's the problem? What's the problem? Oh, you didn't close the account right. Really? How did I not close the account right? Turning everything off. So they said, well, you need to sign a disconnect form. I'm like, well, you didn't ask me to, so okay, send it on through. But you know what? We're not paying this, so you better get rid of it. So they sent me the form. I signed the form, sent it back. They said they'll backdate it on their end and they'll get rid of the charges. I'm like, great. Job done. Got another bill. Now we owe like 5 something. It's going up. So I wrote Tiffany this big note. Anything comes in for service at 61 Buck Hill Road, flag it, give it to me. We're not paying nothing. So I've called them like 10 times now. I'm getting nowhere. I'm going up, getting more frustrated. Talk to several people along the way. Sometimes I talk to 3 or 4 people before I get somebody I can understand, never mind somebody. I mean, they're just unbelievable. I finally get to this one woman who says, it's going to take care of everything once I close the account right.
Oh, gee.
I'm not kidding. All right, so going up to a week and a half ago,
Yeah, probably, yeah, I think so.
Tiffany walks over to me, hands me another bill. I'm like, well, we're getting better. This one's
only yeah, like $24 or 46 or something, yeah.
Like, I don't know, something like $39, something. I'm like,
Under 100,
yeah. I'm like, wow, we're getting better.
yeah.
And I'm like, that's strange. It's very strange. So I look closer and I log into the account online. Oh, it's still up to $600. I'm like, well, something's going on. Something's really strange. I look really close. It's a different account number, but still service address 61 Buck Hill Road. So I walk back over to Tiffany. I'm like, can I see the Comcast for the past year? The whole folder. I laid them out on the table. We had 2 bills for service address 61 Buck Hill Road for the entire year. I said, Tiffany, can I see the last 3 years? Same thing.
They were
I
double
went
billing
back
us.
to 2017. They've been double billing us for the same service, 5 static IPs and the internet. For both bills, they've been double billing us for 6 years.
6 years.
6 years.
For the internet service and the static
So we've
IPs.
been paying it?
Oh, yeah, we've been paying it.
So that's
Sure.
roughly
And if they had
$200 a
done what I
month.
asked them to do in December,
Right.
yeah, they owe us like $2,895.
Yeah.
Plus tax. Because David never signed a tax deferred
Right.
statement.
No,
Yeah.
we should get that opportunity cost too.
Oh, yeah, I've already sent that.
What could my 2,800 be now?
What?
What could our 2,800 be now? It could be much more.
That's right.
It could be 32.
Yeah,
So I sent them a very nice letter.
very nice certified letter.
Certified
And then
letter,
I sent a
yes.
copy of it to Merrill, saying, oh, I'm sure this isn't the end of it.
No, but we want it all
But
back.
we're
We do.
going
Yeah.
after them. We're
Yeah.
going after
Oh,
them.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
they need the luck.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
6 years.
But like I said, if they had done what I asked them to do in December, we never would have discovered it because the auditors
That's right.
never go that deep. They just see, they got
Right.
bills from Comcast, they paid them.
That's right.
Right.
So they
I
told
mean,
on themselves.
They did.
They did.
Yeah,
Because
they
for
always do.
7 years, or a little over 6
Yeah.
years, we've been getting 5 bills from Comcast instead of 4.
Wow.
We should be getting 2 fire departments, town garage, and Cole Hall. We've been getting 2 for Cole Hall, 2 fire departments, and town garage.
Wow.
And
Go,
they paid
Jen.
them because
Could find.
there's so many utility
Pay our
bills that come in here.
Yeah.
Sure. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't notice. They just didn't notice. But Comcast
Okay.
should have, and I said, you can investigate in your end and find out why you started double billing us, and that's your problem, but we want our money back.
Yeah, like what point, when did it double?
Yep.
When, what happened?
August 2017.
Yeah, well, that, put the onus on them.
That's
huh?
8
Yeah,
years.
You figure out
exactly.
what happened, but
Don't automatically turn that off,
No, I won't. Oh, no.
the Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are people still there?
that's all right.
It was only Robin, he disconnected.
Oh, okay.
We'll go back in.
Yeah, we'll open it again. But is there any other?
Not that I'm aware of.
No. Okay, so now I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Yeah. So moved.
Thank you, Mike. A second, please.
Second.
Thank you, Brad. We're on a roll. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you. We will be coming out to take action. Okay, so we're going to review the the proposal for an Emerald Ash Borer Committee. And any suggestions for changes? Take your time.
And you have a copy in there somewhere.
It's in there.
There you go.
All right.
You can take that.
Well, we should switch a member of the DP to a member of the DPW.
Right. And Zoe's name should be vice chair, since she was just elected as such.
In the second paragraph, I guess, maybe we should capitalize Emerald Ash Borer the second time that we do it. Town's behalf related to Emerald Ash Borer response efforts here. Because if we're capitalizing it everywhere else. Just lowercase.
Oh, okay.
Capitalize Emerald Ash and Borer. Get rid of the underline under the E of response. I don't know if this stuff matters. I don't know how we feel about this level of... Anyway.
I think certainly there's no harm, right? Anything else?
No.
Okay, can I have a motion to establish the Emerald Ash Borer Committee with this description, mission, and appointment and membership?
I'll move.
Thank you, Tony.
We've got this.
Second.
Thank you, Brad. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, 500. So we will now be putting out a call for people to submit their interest in serving on the Emerald Ash Borer Committee. The description of the committee and the requirements for membership will be posted on the website, as well as in Front Porch Forum. Is there anything else we need to do before we adjourn?
I don't think so.
Okay. We need to do action items.
Oh. Do we have any?
Well, I don't recall any action items.
Well, we're going to ask Jen to place this on the amended thing on the website in Front Porch Forum.
Right.
That with Paula?
Yeah, and Paula is going to, oh man, there's something else Paula was going to do.
She's going to redo one of the committee assignments. And,
She's going to redo the liaison assignments and post that on the website.
right.
And
Is there anything to do with what Mike brought up with the hiring? No?
Not yet.
And Zoe and Mike are gonna go over the ethical conduct
Zoe and Mike are
That's
going to go
right.
over the ethical conduct.
Right.
and conflict of interest.
I guess I should educate myself on that. I know, I volunteered for that a few weeks ago. Forgot about it until today.
Thank you. Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Tony, Brad, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Great. The meeting is adjourned.